Baby beard!
Alright, I'm a delivery boy!
Who is Hermes planning on killing?
I think we should let the orphans run free.
You've redeemed funds.
Yeah, exactly.
You haven't.
He's just an old guy.
Can we talk about Evil Lincoln?
Oh, of course.
Oh, this art needs to be sent. That's not the voice at all.
That's lobster tame.
Let's make it the
Look,
Christmas.
let me ask you this.
He was just about to agree with you.
Wow. Shut up and take my podcast.
Yeah, nice. Got some
Welcome.
easy listening here today.
Welcome, everybody, to Shut Up and Take My Podcast side mission,
ASMR edition.
Ooh, ah.
where we deviate from our regularly scheduled program to bring you something different because you deserve it.
Oh, you do.
Mm.
You've been good this year.
Yeah. Put your feet in bath and just soak them.
Ooh, not that deep. Ooh.
Cool. So, guys,
Disgusting.
so
Sorry, everyone.
we've gone through 72 episodes.
Is it that many?
So
It's a
far.
few, yeah.
With a couple of side missions thrown in, one radio drama, one fanorama.
Yeah.
You've
One-
lost.
One of just Sean and I talking about what we like.
Yep.
Yeah, and we are now at the point where we have gone to the end of the original run. So the four of us thought we would look back on the original run. And who are the four of us? Well, I'm joined here by Phil.
Zoidberg standalone spin-off show?
I love it.
I am joined here by Josh.
Neutral Planet spin-off episode.
I'm joined here by Ellen.
Look, I'm clearly here on the podcast because I am both as angry as Leela and as dumb as Amy.
We're joined by Sean.
I still should not be the protagonist of this podcast.
You're not.
No.
Apparently I am.
I mean, we've worked out Ellen is the antagonist, you're the unlikely protagonist, and Phil and I are comic relief.
Sure.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about that, Phil?
Well, Zoidberg's my favourite character.
So
Makes
I'll be Farnsworth.
You know, I think a Neutral Planet spin-off show would be okay.
But only that.
Yeah, it would be alright.
I might watch it.
Yeah, that's right. I'd watch it in the background.
But I have no strong feelings
That's
about it.
not bad for a lot of media these days. Sometimes I'm just looking for, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's like going to sleep
I
with
wouldn't-
the Star Trek like engine sounds in the background is in like a nice white noise. That's what you do with the neutral one.
I wish I had Star Trek like doors in my house.
You mean
Just the noise.
it's like if you press one nostril and breathe out the other one, that's the noise it makes. Not that hard. That's when the door jutters. It's just like a.
I don't.
That's pretty
Really is the ASMR podcast.
And now that we've
really
blown
is. It
snot
really
all
is.
over the microphones.
So
the
jumping
pop
off from
film's
that, there have been several like TV shows within a TV show that have been. What is your favorite Futurama TV show within a TV show?
Oh.
So there's Everybody
Hypnotoad?
Loves Hypnotoad.
Scary door.
Scary Door.
It's the scary door.
I
All
don't-
My Circuits.
A single female lawyer.
Single.
I was going to say all hail Hypnotoad. No, that's not right. I'm referencing
Everybody
Welcome to
loves
Night Vale
Hypnotoad,
there.
yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
loves
Hypnotoad. Just because I feel like it'd be really good to like, drop acid
Yeah.
and watch Hypnotoad.
Also,
But
all
as
my
a family, you know?
all my circuits, the clearest one.
I was going to say All
Yeah.
My Circuits for me.
Yeah.
I love reversing
Terrible
robot.
acting.
What is he objecting or is he backing up? I think both.
Also, technically, Friends is a TV show within a TV show because it's referred to by. So, Friends is canon in this
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does Ross the larger friend not eat the
Yeah.
other friends?
I'm going to sound like the most boring fucking white straight person ever.
You gotta say
But
Frasier?
Can you say the news?
Yeah, the news show with
Yeah.
Morbo and
Or,
Linda.
what is it? Good Morning Earth. as well.
yeah.
Good Morning Earth.
is really
I
good.
quite like Good
The morning
Earth.
show very.
What about Bam? His cooking show.
Oh, Elsa!
Elsa's
Cooking-
show.
Elsa, yeah.
Okay, wait.
He doesn't
so
remember what it's called?
now that
Cooking with
Is it
Elsa.
just called Cooking with Elsa?
that's what I thought.
Like
Yeah.
downtown cuisine with Elsa or
We
something?
should know that.
Downtown
We should.
cuisine.
We should know every detail from every
Right,
show.
yeah.
Oh, well, I've already failed right now.
Harold Zoid's movie.
Oh, the
That's-
the barber of something.
It's like the third. It's something to do with threes or the third something.
Yeah. I feel this
Yeah.
entire episode is just going to be us trying to
speculating.
Trying to remember details. yeah.
details. Actually, on that, so a couple of episodes ago, I realized we never brought this up. So in the Farnsworth Parabox, we talked about what does 420 mean. Effectively,
Pleasure.
A fan wrote into us, as in like how it came about. Like what was the actual?
Didn't I say it's to do with American teenagers leaving school at 4:20 and getting blazed?
But is
Not
that correct?
Why?
Or is that a wives' tale?
What happened was, there was a school.
Those high wives.
In the 70s, believe it or not.
Wow.
I will name drop them.
Do
Steve Capper and Dave Reddix. They had a friend called... So that they just went and they got blazed up quite regularly at school.
At school,
But
yeah.
420 wasn't in effect at that moment. They had a friend called Bill. Bill's brother was a Coast Guard. And
Oh,
Bill...
you know he had the good shit.
It's nothing to do all day, sit and watch the sea.
All those pretty sunset colors.
So Bill's brother grew weed. But he was afraid that his commanding officer would like find out, and because he's in the Coast Guard, he's like, I can't have that. So he's like, you guys, if you go and if you go harvest the weed yourself, because I know how weeds like it's just put
You
in the
get
ground,
out there
right?
with your scythe.
It is literally... It's literally a weed. It's really easy to grow.
Yeah. I was like, if you guys go and harvest it yourself, it's all yours. So
Oh, wow.
they decided that at 420, because some of them had extracurricular activities after
Right,
school,
right.
they'd get together at this particular statue, then they'd go off and in search, because it started with a treasure map. They'd actually
that's
go.
rad.
So at
my
420,
God.
at 420 every afternoon, they'd get fucking high,
Yeah.
and then go in search of this weed.
Can
plant,
I?
like,
Okay.
just-
I was
Can
really
I just
hoping-
say though, that is a movie I want to make. It's
Yeah.
The Goonies, but people just desperately wanting to get high. I love it. I love also their names. Is it Radix? What is it?
Steve Capper and Dave Reddix.
Capra and Reddix. That sounds fucking badass.
We are.
So that came from Jennifer.
Oh,
Okay,
Jennifer.
thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Thanks, Jennifer. We're one step closer to that because Ryan Reynolds is making Stoned Alone, which is an R-rated remake of Home Alone, where he misses his flight because he gets blazed, and then he's so high that he thinks that people are breaking into his house and he defends it.
Is he gonna put Macaulay Culkin back in? Because
I hope that Macaulay Culkin is one of the
I hope
thieves.
so.
he would have aged perfectly into
Yeah,
this role.
sure. Hard cut to an image of Macaulay Culkin here.
So we actually have at a point where we can start talking to fans now.
Oh wow.
Really?
kinda nice,
We have
yeah.
fans.
We have.
Yeah.
I thought Ellen was, but Ellen's back though.
She's brought some friends.
my favorite
Have
fan.
I?
My favorite fan has to be the pastor.
Pastor, Mr.
Carbonara.
Zachary.
Zachary, Mr. Zachary.
Yeah.
Zachary the
I
pastor.
want to bring
And
up
his wife.
his response to one of questions we want to ask him because I didn't address it properly when he first did it. So,
Yeah. Go for it. The floor is yours.
oh, do you want to do it now?
Yeah, why not?
So, one of my favorite episodes of the original run is Godfellas. It's a freaking awesome
Yeah.
episode. Obviously, it has some quite big theological questions that they ask, and at that point, we knew that Zachary was his pastor who was a big fan of the show. So we asked him directly during the podcast, hey, can you give us your response to this as a Christian? Like, how do you feel about this show?
Yeah.
And this episode in particular and the way it portrays religion. Because we thought, is it offensive? Does it kind of put you off? And
Does it walk the fine line?
yeah,
Or does
apparently
it-
his wife called him and was like, I think they're talking about you on
I
the
know.
show.
I remember when they said that, and I was just like, I find it so adorable that they're like a little team effort.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. And I have to apologize at this point because I was going to write a response because he wrote us a really long
was an
response.
essay.
It was an essay.
Nice.
And I put it on the back burner because I really wanted to give it a good response. I put it on the back burner. I never got around to
One
it.
of our few
To be fair,
fans.
word a
To be
day.
fair,
Yeah.
to be fair, I am I'm sort of training to be a father of a special needs child, and
No
so
excuse.
I don't always get around to things. I know that's just an excuse, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
sticking to. But he wrote this really wonderful response, and the upshot of it basically is that the reverence irreverence is treated with is not kind of offensive to him.
Yeah.
Like the way it's handled is actually quite fun, and it's not. It doesn't punch down.
Well, I don't think God is ever the butt of the joke.
No.
in that. Religion certainly,
Yeah.
but never. All the questions directed about gods are actually questions.
It's-
There's a kind of like drive there to let's unpack this. What do we think? What are the questions we want to ask? And again, I know I've already apologized, but. Sorry, Zachary, about all the swears. I know that you said you don't mind.
He doesn't
but
mind.
It's that episode is very
I
philosophical.
don't apologize, Zachary.
Which, from my understanding, from being in a Christian school as well, it's like the gift that God gave us was free will. So it's the idea of like what happens when something with free will
Well-
gets into a position of power.
Were we all private schooled?
Yes, tell us now, Josh. More details of your life.
I went to a grammar school
Oh.
in the UK, which was
Kelsey Grammar
it's,
School.
Niles?
There are
Niles
no
is the costume party.
there are no school fees, but it does have an entrance exam.
Oh, cool. I was going to say, you beat me to it because I was going to say I went to a spelling school for the grammar, but then you went Kelsey Grammar. I'm like, okay, you win.
That's
Okay, it's
perfect.
done.
Yeah.
So we did actually go through and asked the legions of fans.
Oh yeah,
They are
all
legion.
5 of them.
The 80 people who listen to our podcast each week.
They are legion for they are many.
We said, what's your favorite moment? What's your favorite character? What's
Did
your
you say
favorite
it
anything?
like that?
Like exactly that. You know,
What's the deal?
Record it
you
as
don't
a
wanna
Twitter
pressure
video. Yeah, record it as a Twitter video. Like, hey guys,
I mean, if you could.
so
Sean,
we
did
had-
you go Charlie Day with it?
What do what-
Do you like it?
Number one, we'll start near the very beginning.
Oh,
place
Josh
to
start.
from no, not you, a different Josh.
okay.
Josh,
The other Josh.
Josh from Facebook says, Season 1, Episode 2, I Roommate, the sad fate of Dr. Mabuto.
Oh, how awful. Did he at least die painlessly? To shreds, you say? Well, how is his wife holding up? To shreds, you say?
To shreds, you say?
Great joke, that.
Yeah.
That's one I see most commonly, I guess, pop up on things like Reddit. Like
Really?
it pops up in threads about other things all the time. Someone
Yeah.
will just start
To
the
shreds,
chain
you
with
say.
shreds, you say, and then all the replies will be the rest of the lines.
Yeah.
Like it's just really iconic. It just really stands out, that telephone joke.
Yeah.
And it's always on, like if it appears on another Reddit, someone will screen cap it and put it on the feature
Yeah.
on the
It
subreddit
works.
every time.
It's just a really well written joke because I find that personally funny when you say, I don't know if the other end of the conversation is a new piece of information or if it's exactly the same, like if both times they're talking about the what, but I find that really funny where it's just like, yeah, you know, that thing that I just said.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the beauty of a one-sided conversation is because it like, and those jokes always, I think they hit the hardest and they hit well.
Has anyone seen Top Secret?
Yes.
no.
Top Secret is a really lovely slapstick film from the kind of airplane Naked Gun era.
Ah, love it.
Is that
It's
the Val,
about
Val Kilmer?
yes, it does have Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
it's
Holy
about
shit.
it's about the French Resistance during
so
the Second World War. Very loosely,
Yeah.
one of the French Resistance characters, the black one, is called Chocolate Mousse.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a bit in that one of them's called Latrine. So
One of them's called Deja Vu and immediately goes like, have we met before? It's like, no. It's like, oh, I thought I would have remembered.
There's a bit where the Nazi commandant is on the phone and he's like, "Oh, if this officer is dead, then you will be killed." And he's on the phone and he goes, yes, I see. Well, let me know if there's any change in his condition." Puts the phone down. He's dead. It's great. It's fantastic. It's a brilliant joke.
It's also weird in that for that entire first season, Farnsworth isn't fucking insane. He's just like a
Yeah.
nice little
It's
old
just
man.
Kind of, yeah.
A little forgetful.
Little
Yeah.
forgetful.
Little bit
Yeah.
senile.
Just general old person insanity, right?
That's the weirdest thing to see his transition from like kind of senile old Farnsworth into just batshit insane.
They
Yeah.
push the envelope with all the characters to a more or lesser degree. I think, Bender starts out quite two-dimensional, and then the more episodes that focus on him, we get more. We like particularly things around like Daddy Bender and his nurturing
Yeah.
side, which is a really unexpected side, especially, say, the first 2 episodes. You wouldn't think of Bender ever having any kind of nurturing
Yeah.
instinct.
No.
The
But it
flaws in
really
his
grows.
The flaws in his programming keep growing. And
Yeah,
growing
that's
and growing.
right.
And
Just an admin issue. Did you say season 1, episode 2 for I Roommate?
I didn't mean to. I meant to say episode 3.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I was like the whole way through, I'm like, Sean, clearly we know that the series has landed.
Way to piss off our few fans.
blame Josh.
Did he
write it down wrong?
I read verbatim.
Josh?
This is exactly...
Josh, it's Josh speaking. We all know that we are fuck-ups because we are Josh. We are the Legion of Josh, and we just like to point out that we are sorry.
You
And
tell
as
Josh.
I
Thanks.
push the glasses
Ellen.
up, and what is the actual name of season 1, episode 2?
Quiznet the season has landed. The series
that would be there. We go.
I said the series has landed
So
before,
nerdy.
but then I got.
Get it wrong.
Hey, it was even more nerdy that I had to stop the conversation and be like, Sean, our fan got it wrong.
Yeah, push your glasses up your nose, you fucking nerd.
Quizmaster, I think you'll find.
Oh, God.
So, what is the name of another one of our super fans that you can remember?
Not me.
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, indeed. So, Elizabeth dropped
Hi,
us a
Liz.
GIF And all I need to do is say 2 words.
Yes.
Remember me. Remember me. Remember me.
Nice.
Yes.
Remember me.
Yeah. The one that's everyone's reminded of every time they click a remember me on a login screen.
Yeah.
Remember me.
Pharaoh
Because
to
I
remember.
don't
Yeah.
have the memory to remember all my passwords.
Very true.
No, I particularly remember that episode, like recording it because of your really. I'm talking to Ellen. Your
Yeah.
really.
Thank you.
I'm pointing
You.
for you,
The general you. You're listening.
Audio
your
friendly.
visceral reaction to Bender's cruelty in that episode. The other side, I just
Yeah.
talked about his maternal side, but in that episode, he is like
I
the
get-
worst. He is vile.
I get quite pissy with Bender quite often. And that was pretty
No.
early.
That was Ellen's
pretty...
first episode with us,
No,
by the way.
okay.
no. Because I'd done one before. We'd done like a little side mission where
Oh, but
you were just
yeah.
like, hey, what's
Introducing.
up? Like, who are you? Why are you in my house? And I'm like, oh,
Get out,
just
stop eating
wanted
everything.
to be on the podcast. No, but then we did the one with we recorded the one with the pools first.
Did we?
Time keeps
Yeah,
on
it came
slipping.
afterwards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because we lost the original Time Keeps on Slipping.
Oh, God.
Where
Oh,
Ellen
God.
and I switched places.
Let's not talk about the errors of recording.
Yeah.
I also remember the kind of Egyptology discussion. in
Yeah,
that
and you
episode.
giving me so much shit for
Because
it.
you're such a nerd.
You're welcome. Oh, sorry, I'm a nerd in actual useful things.
Ellen,
My-
put your glasses back up.
My wife was actually kind of annoyed at me for that. She was like, "Ellen's really good. You should not discourage her from being on the
Thank you.
podcast."
And you were just like,
goodness.
I can't hear you over the nerd talk right now.
It's so I've become like such a I am a nerd deep in my soul.
Sure, that's why we
but
like you.
my like behavior is that of an 80s jock bully. And like anytime I hear someone, I just become Homer Simpson in like that episode with the nerds where he's just like
Nerds!
Who was the
Hey, nerds.
It's Stranger
but-
Things. Who's the boyfriend? The one that
Steve.
Steve. Yeah, you are Steve. You are going
I
through the Steve
love
Grove.
Steve.
You're
I'm
welcome.
happy with that.
You're
Well,
welcome.
he becomes way better.
I
in
don't
the
have
second
that
season.
Yeah,
Farrah
exactly.
Fawcett hair, but
Yeah,
that's all right.
Well,
I'm
your
working
season,
on it.
your season 1, like Steve at the moment.
No,
You're like,
I
yeah,
want to be
you're growing.
Steve's-
You're growing.
You're gonna have an arc. You're gonna have an arc.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get
I just remember.
dumped by my girlfriend first. What?
Yeah.
I-
I was gonna say, I just remember in that episode as well, the 2 things that stand out to me the most. The moment I love where Bender is looking up at his own Pharaoh saying, remember me, and it's like, I will. And the joke that I'm still not sure if it lands for me, and I think back on it
Elton
every
John?
time. Elton John, every time.
Oh yeah, we
Didn't-
discussed
yeah.
that episode. It's
It
terrible.
goes on
I
for
vaguely
so
remember
long.
every time I'm like, I remember it, and I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. Then I'm like, no, it really is. But
Why
is
did you
it? But is it?
dedicate half a minute to this?
Benny and the Jets.
It's so
Then
dumb.
the years went by and Pharaoh died.
Susie
Went and
Jordan
and then
Levy.
lower him into the pit.
False
Yeah.
Start podcast. Hello, False Starts podcast.
Hi.
Hello.
Their response was off the top of their head.
I really hope they
The
give it back.
Slurm episode. Grunkalunkas.
Grunkalunka.
I believe
Yeah.
that was before my time.
It was just
Was
barely,
it?
just
Yes,
barely.
my first
Oh.
episode was Xmas Story.
Really?
Episode. So
I
that was
thought-
14 episodes in, I think.
Yeah.
For some reason, you'd been on it forever.
Same.
No, not true. Not true.
Oh.
Because the original lineup, God rest their souls, was Chris, James, and myself.
They're all dead.
They're
Yeah,
both
Sean.
All dead.
Sean has to kill everyone who leaves.
eventually.
Well, Chris is now a drunken robot, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, upgraded.
It's been a wild time for him, guys. Keep him in your prayers.
Yeah, that one has a fantastic joke in it, and I like the Willy Wonka vibe throughout the entire episode is great. And to this day, my dad still quotes the "I can't see, are we boned?" He was just like out of nowhere, he'll just say this, and I'm like, "That's the one episode you remember." But the as soon as you're saying the Grunkalunkas, I just think that it's like
Grunkalunka dunkety ingredient. You should not ask about the secret ingredient.
Okay, we get the point.
I was just curious because of the armed guards.
Grunkalunka dunkety darn guards.
Shut the hell up!
Or I've got one of Hermes' lines, which is just says, no, it's the what the hell is his name? Not the Willy Wonka Slurm guy.
"Oh, I'm Slurms
Yeah.
Mackenzie."
no,
So-
that's the party one.
yeah,
the actual owner of the
Yeah,
factory.
but he's
or
like
the owner.
Yeah.
he's having a conversation with Hermes, and he's like, they think they have a good union, but they don't.
That's a really good line. Yeah, you're right.
I love that. I don't. It's also got like one of my favorite tropes. I don't know why. I just go mad for this trope when like something terrible is going wrong, and someone's just like, "I'm tired of running." And it's just like, but you're right there. Like,
You can just a minute more.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's something about that trope
Yeah.
I quite usually. I know it's cliched and
Yeah.
whatever, but sometimes when I see it, like in an action, like just this gruff and he's tired. he's tired of living the lie or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
And that had
yeah,
Pamela Anderson
yeah.
too.
Yeah, really
Because
did.
Pamela Anderson came back to
Yeah.
voice
Okay.
one of the Slurms dancing girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they had her for
the mother's one. He goes back. He's
Yeah.
rich.
I had it there. I had it
it's
there.
about the
Getting
anchovies.
$4 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't I know this?
Yeah, it's there. It's on the tip of my tongue. I
Look,
forget.
I'm not going to look it up. So
Quick
it's fine.
question. What do we think Slurm tastes like?
I always imagine
addiction.
like I always imagine like very thick
yeah.
Mountain Dew.
I was going to say it looks like Mountain
It's
Dew,
very
but with coffee.
viscous, isn't it?
yeah, like yogurty Mountain
Oh,
Dew.
I want some yogurty Mountain Dew now. Also,
Yeah,
just
definitely
jumping,
a lime flavor, I thought.
jumping off what you're saying, like I can't run anymore.
Yeah.
The nice little bit of animation of just seeing bloodshot eyes of Slurms
Yeah.
Mackenzie is just like a nice
I
little.
just liked it. It really completed the trope for me.
I'm going back through the episode.
I know.
You're
I've almost
looking-
got it. I've almost got it. It's right there. Nerd.
Are you finding the essay? or-
Into the bin with you,
I'm just
Phil.
trying to look back through the episodes and see which one is the one about the oil.
Oh,
Anchovies.
yeah. We're going back with
He's so angry.
It's right there. It's 4 words.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
4 words.
Things are getting thrown.
Dollars.
And
Fistful of
not-
dollars.
Fistful of dollars. Fistful of dollars.
Yeah, fistful of dollars.
Yeah.
Look,
Intellectual orgasm.
I'm vegetarian.
Gross. Clean that
We
up.
say it's intellectual. I wouldn't.
But it is an orgasm.
Yeah, which
Visceral.
doesn't. You don't
Episode
need your
6.
head for that.
All the power to him.
Episode
Yeah.
6 of Fish.
Yes.
Full of dollars.
I'm vegetarian now, but I remember like loving that episode and making like I think I ate anchovies because of that episode. And guess what? I fucking loved them.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, I get what fry means.
I
Like,
was in the-
they do taste better on a pizza.
I was in the
'cause
flip
they
side.
Yeah,
cook,
cooked
they're
into a
cooked.
pizza, yeah,
but I would
yeah.
eat them out of the jar.
Yeah.
I was mad like that.
I did the exact same thing. I had anchovies on a pizza, and I had the exact same reaction as the entire Planet Express crew of.
Oh, did you? No,
Yeah.
I was into it. First bite, I was like, yeah, it's like
It's very salty and I love it.
it's
Yeah, it's
salty
good.
and like weirdly creamy in your mouth. Like
they're
it
nice.
kind of melts away in your mouth. I
I
wish
really-
I could still eat them now.
The thing that stands out for me is Mom's reaction.
Oh, yeah.
to when he's
I
like,
fucking
oh,
care.
you ate them.
Yeah.
fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's like so offhand. I really love it.
And just how, like, Mum is, like, how much of an evil genius she is. She's like, if he was to do this, he could cut out that gene and, like, put in a bunch of third world kids and suddenly cheap
yeah.
work. And it's like, my God, Mum is
That's
a
why
genius.
That's why
Yeah.
she's mum.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah.
man. And then just that simplicity of, like, are you going to eat them? Oh, go ahead.
I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah,
On
it's
the
really
obscene
nice.
tattoo. In Fishful
That's
of
where it
Dolls.
comes from, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
Which-
Amy's obscene tattoo.
That's can't be seen on a low quality television.
Yeah, and now that
Great
TV
joke.
technology has
A
kind of upped
4K.
its game, the joke doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Although it's probably like 27K by then.
Does anyone have any guesses to what it is?
The tattoo?
I like to think it's a world giving the middle finger to a slightly different... No, Mars giving the middle finger to, like, Jupiter.
Yeah.
I think it's butt stuff.
I think it's the 3-boobed woman from Total Recall.
Yeah, well,
good
I
times.
mean, I'm quite like vanilla, I guess. Out of all, I just assumed it was kind of like, Amy Winehouse's tattoos.
Yeah.
How she had like one, and it was just kind of like an old. It's a bit shit the drawing because it's meant to be reminiscent of like those sailors' tattoos, and it's just like a naked lady with giant tits. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
All right.
But like super condensed.
It's quite small. Huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Amy's a super condensed. Amy Winehouse
The
is a
boobs are like proportional.
It's just a singular boob, but with multiple boobs on it.
Yeah, look, maybe this is the girls aren't as obsessed with boobs. I don't think. Maybe
Some girls are.
Yeah, some girls.
I quite like them, but like, would I get it tattooed on my body? Nah.
Well, one person who may or
Got
may
real
not
boobs.
be obsessed with boobs, we'll never know, is the guys from the Blokebusters podcast.
Blockbusters
And,
boobs? Yeah, nay.
Blokes,
And-
just some blokes being blokes.
They wrote to us and
They're
said,
busting the bloke.
so many great moments.
Aw.
Jurassic Bark is just a phenomenal episode. The Devil's
God,
Hands
right.
or Idle Playthings is always a fun watch. And any time John DiMaggio gets through Bender going insane is always hysterical.
Yes.
I just like him yelling. Like,
Yeah.
it's my favorite thing whenever he gets to go.
Yeah, I was going to
just
say,
like,
nonsensical John DiMaggio. Like,
It's brilliant.
Every time.
Like in Devil's Hands when he gets disassembled.
Oh,
Yes, and
Where,
juggled.
It's flustered yelling Bender is the best Bender because you know they just went to John DiMaggio, make noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same what you said when he's like doing the scratching post. It's like, it's like, aw.
Or like they did it with Billy West as well when he was playing Farnsworth, when he has to go up on stage and you just hear Billy West going, ooh, no.
Was that
no. For like 10 seconds.
Crimes of the Hops?
I think so, yes. Yeah, which they're going, yeah.
Farnsworth's great.
It is great.
Jurassic Park's great, but it's
Jurassic
not.
Park.
Yeah, it's quite.
It's
not an
still-
accessible episode. Like
because it just makes you really sad.
yeah,
or-
you have to sort of prepare to watch it or be in the right mood
I
to watch
remember,
it.
like, if it came on, it was this terrible being, like, it was like I was being torn because I really love that episode, but I just don't want to put myself through
not
that
ready to feel
sometimes.
sad.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I always skip the
Yeah.
ending for that reason. The moment that Fry thinks that Seymour lived a long and happy life, I skipped to the immediate next episode.
and because
So
it is,
with us,
it
was
is
that the first
really
time that you'd watched it?
That is the second time in the history of watching Jurassic Park where I've watched it to its entirety because I remember that scene so vividly.
But it is a bummer episode. Like, you know,
bit, yeah.
like, yes, the sting is equally heart-wrenching and sometimes hard to
Doesn't
watch.
end on, like-
But
Yeah.
it has a happy ending.
that's
Yeah.
and it ends on a
Whereas,
joke.
whereas I think Jurassic Park is really, it's such a, for me, I find it such a great episode because it does really look at mortality and what it means, that we have to accept it and we have to move on and we can't go back. And like, while that is deeply upsetting,
Yeah.
it's also a really intelligent look at it,
Yeah.
which is hard. It's hard to do that.
It's that universal thing of like, you know, things from our past selves and our past lives and you know, rediscovering them and being like, oh, that's who I was then.
Yeah.
You know, and being able to say, okay, that's really, I really want to cling on to it, but to keep being the person I am now, I have to let it go.
Exactly.
And that's a really profound thing for a comedy sci-fi
Yeah.
show to address.
And like, I think when you put a dog in, like, it pulls at your heartstrings because it's something so, like, it's so integral to the way that a person loves.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's what dogs kind of do. They teach us how to love and also how to mourn, unfortunately. And like, and because it's half like you love them so much, but then you're also in like a guardian role, you know. So they are essentially fluffy children that you will have to
Fur babies.
Yeah, that you will have to mourn one day,
Yeah.
which is not
It's
something.
pretty dark.
Welcome to the Futurama podcast.
Sadness is only in store. But even linking to what you were saying there, Phil, like the idea of something deep coming out, that scene immediately makes me think of the Simpsons episode where Homer is sitting on his car at the end.
I told you.
He did it again.
Yeah. Keep going.
Simpsons.
Simpsons.
They-
Whatever.
Simpsons.
Anyway.
You do you, Josh. You do you.
The Homer and Marge variety hour, when Homer's sitting on the car at the end after his mother flees. The set.
yeah.
And it's like that is the exact same like feeling I get. It's
You can't go back.
Yeah, it's classic Simpsons and classic Futurama loveliness of just like the man. I'm feeling things as well
Yeah.
as like I'm like waka waka funny. Oh, there's emotion
Oh,
here.
ow.
Wow, didn't expect
Waka
that. Waka waka.
don't you waka waka?
Not a fan of Fozzie Bear.
Only in my bedroom.
Oh, I was thinking
Wap.
of...
Oh, what?
Waka waka.
That makes more
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
I was thinking of Pac-Man for some reason.
No, that's Wagga Wagga.
That's what I do around the house when I'm hungry.
Wagga 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 Wagga.
Waka, waka, waka.
And we also had one message from the on our Instagram page,
Ooh.
to which the Truth Prescription podcast
Ooh.
replied with a peace sign.
Nice.
Aw.
I asked them to clarify,
Yeah.
and they did not.
Peace and love, man.
Um,
Peace and love.
I'm warning you with peace and love. Truth Prescription. Fantastic name for a podcast there.
Yeah,
Truth prescription. Is this about conspiracy theories?
yeah. But
Did you
also,
look them up?
also, fuck you, Truth Prescription.
Whoa. Sean
You
does
just
not
lost
speak
us
for
a
us.
valuable
Yeah.
fan there.
I rescind Sean's fuck you and instead reply with a peace and love.
Peace and love.
Maybe they were
Peace
talking
and
about
love. And a fuck you.
war is the H word. Maybe that's what they were referring to.
Possibly.
True.
Or
I
I was
think-
going to say Roswell that ends wells, but no, that's not. It's not about peace at all.
I guess
It's
there's peace at the end
it's
of it.
actively about fucking things up, like
Yeah.
especially a
And
whole.
fucking some other things.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's
Speak
open
up.
up the floor. Favorite moments, anything.
Well, it's
characters?
interesting you guys mentioned that episode.
Yeah.
Which one?
The
War is the H word?
No.
Roswell that ends well?
Roswell that ends well.
Oh, Roswell. So much fun.
That episode is so much fun, and as a Zoidberg fan, that episode just really sticks in my head.
He's such a trooper.
He's so delightful in that episode, and it's kind of like he has, as he often does, Zoidberg's story is kind of secondary.
Yes.
But it lifts that episode so much. The whole alien dissection thing, and the whole a buffet. I wish I'd brought my wallet.
Deviled egg.
It's funny that you said
Same
that.
deviled
the same
egg.
deviled egg.
Stomach contents, 1 deviled egg. Deviled egg? The same deviled egg.
Just everything about that Zoidberg in the episode elevates it, and it just, for me, is why he's such an important character for the show.
Yeah.
Is really highlighted by that episode.
He's the clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny
We
that you
need
say
the
that.
clown.
That was the first memory for that episode that comes to me. Like the moment with the buffet. And then when he's on the autopsy table, it's like, don't cut that. I need that to talk.
Yeah.
And they start
So
cutting it.
fast.
It's funny because I was trying to think of in my head what is my favorite Futurama lines.
Yes.
And one of them is the deviled egg joke.
Yes,
That
I
is-
love the deviled egg joke.
I was waiting so hard for it, and when it came, it was.
it gets you, doesn't it?
I love deviled
every
eggs
time.
as well.
I don't know if I've had a deviled egg.
Really?
Wait, those are the little cold
It's where
ones
you
that are-
take the yolk out and then you kind of mix
Curry
it with
it.
Yeah.
and then you kind of pipe it back into the heart, the egg white.
Do you say
Yeah.
into the heart? The heart of
The,
the egg?
I was going to say hardened,
little bowl.
because you've boiled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little bowl.
It's beautiful.
Oh, and also to settle
50s housewives.
to
They
settle an
knew
old
what was
discussion.
up. Not about other things, but deviled eggs.
They
They
certainly
absolutely did kill a lot of people on that base.
did.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
They
Ugh.
100%.
There are
did.
so many lasers
Yeah.
flying.
That's why it's covered up. That's why it's super covered up still
Yeah.
to this day. I was going to say
American
all the
government.
songs, not one episode in particular, except for a problem with Poplars, which is still the best. Fight me, but every single song it pops up in Futurama. All those like the Wailers of the Moon and the
Yeah.
Poplars theme and all these like happy little jingles that
All
pop
the
up.
opera
Hermes.
from
Yes.
Devil's
Hermes.
Plaything.
Also,
Yes,
thank you, because you foreshadowed a future side mission, which is going to be about the music of Futurama.
Oh, brilliant. I'm
I
excited.
like that.
What is that? How Hermes requisitioned his
Yes,
groove back?
they said I probably shouldn't have been a surgeon.
Yeah, that
They
song's
poo-pooed
wicked.
my electric frankfurter. They said I probably shouldn't fly with just one eye. I am Bender, please insert girder.
I know
Right,
Chris's
fantastic.
favorite song is from Hell is Other Robots, which
Oh,
is one
yeah.
of, if not his favorite.
Yeah.
I think he said that in the last episode as well. That is a
one's that?
great song.
In Robot Hell,
Yeah, with the Beastie Boys.
cigars
and-
are evil, you won't miss them.
That's
We'll find
right.
ways to simulate that,
that
smell.
smell.
Selling bootleg tapes is wrong. Musicians need that income to survive.
Hey, Bender gonna make some noise with your hard drive scratched by the Beastie Boys. That's what you get on level 5.
Yeah.
Such a great
Yeah.
song there.
I think the Hermes episode also has my most probably my
Beck.
most quoted line.
You are correct. That the technically correct.
The
best kind of correct.
That's so good.
That's still quoted like in a lot of
I use
circles
that.
that I'm with in the
Yeah,
States.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
It is the best kind of correct.
Yes,
What about
Because
you,
it's the
John?
one you feel most smarmy about.
Mr. Number 1.0 as well. I love that's the highest rank is 1.0, not 1, but the lowest denomination of 1.
And no, it's God.
It's gone.
Oh no, I wrote.
Don't quote me, regulations. I co-chaired the committee that reviewed the recommendation to revise the color of the book that regulation's in. We kept it gray.
It's like the most powerful line.
Yeah, there's something just about beige characters
Yeah.
that I love. Like if I heard someone in real life say, "Yeah, my favorite character's beige," I would pummel them to the
Yes.
ground in an instant because they're not human. But when I see a character who's like, "My favorite color is beige," I'm like, "Yes, let's look further into that."
This is a flaw in your character, and let's explore it. There's also a beholder in that episode.
Yes.
D&D shout-outs for the win.
There's a. So is it it's the Daddy Bender where he adopts the orphans?
Yeah.
Good episode.
And there's a character in that. What's his name? Arlington or
Is that
something?
the one who
or
gets all the
Adelaide
espresso?
Adelaide.
Adelaide Atkins.
Adelaide, yeah.
Who is the
Oh.
most beige character
Yes.
ever to be created.
Yeah, he
Regular,
loves.
please. But he's like, there is this Tom Kenny charm that comes through something so beige.
Awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's SpongeBob. That is the greatest
I know.
correlation. Adelaide Atkins is SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah.
Tom Kenny does a lot of shit,
I
man.
know.
Tom Kenny is also Rabbit in the last animated Winnie the Pooh film, which has Craig Ferguson as Al
Yes,
and
it
John
is.
Cleese as the narrator. It is golden.
Really?
So good.
Interesting.
Go see Christopher Robin's in theaters now.
There's lots of great voice actors in Futurama. Like,
Yes.
I don't know if this is a good segue or not, but like, I mean, half the time that something has been really powerful or just funny, it's like all in the delivery of what these amazing people are doing. Like, we love John DiMaggio just going, blah, blah, blah.
John
but
Goodman is one that I think.
Oh, yes, as
he's
Santa.
so good as Santa. Did
There
any
are
of
a
you
couple of
think?
misses, though, I think. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, did any of you think about how Dr. Zoidberg feels? It's like,
No, I swear.
I was actually thinking the exact same way. There are misses like Hank Azaria doing a good job in a bad episode.
Which
Which
what
one did Hank
character?
Azaria do again?
He was Harold Zoid.
Yes, that's right.
Good character, but of all the Decapodians that he could
Because
have
that was
played,
the one thing
Yeah.
Hank Azaria wanted to do is he
remember
wanted to
you
play
saying,
a Decapodian. He wanted to play someone related to Zoidberg.
And then you just played an old Jewish man.
Yeah. To be fair, that character is the best part of that episode.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
He's quite charming.
I
He's
do have to say,
he's trying well. I don't think the delivery is bad.
No,
I just
no.
think the jokes are bad in that, and they should feel bad.
Yeah.
Or, I did it. I did the meme. Are you happy now?
The script is bad, but the audio delivery for everyone in that is good.
It's good,
Yeah.
The ones I'm thinking of are Lucy Liu.
Yes.
Yes.
Not that good at you. I mean, she's playing herself.
I love Lucy
yeah.
Lowe though.
That's she's.
Just
I'm
coast-
not banging on Lucy Liu, but I think
I wish I was banging on Lucy Lowe.
Siren.
well, she's still the sexiest woman alive in, like, what was it, 2077 or something?
It's
Something like
2063 and
That
2003.
That holds
I'll
up.
have the 2003 version,
Yeah.
please.
It's a very strange episode. I'm not a big fan.
I think the missed opportunity for me was Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman. That's the one I was.
Yeah.
Which is
thinking
just,
about, yeah.
it's very weird to cast Sarah Silverman as Michelle, because Michelle is, it's just weird when you get
She's
someone like
not
Sarah
really
Silverman.
much of a character.
No,
she
Yeah.
isn't.
Sean, you just blew my mind because I was never on any of the episodes with Michelle, and now I finally spot where I know Michelle's
Yeah.
voice from. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
We kind of did a bit of shitting on the Michelle character,
Yeah.
and we upset Reddit a bit.
I was really
Yeah,
hoping.
Oh, did you?
I was like, I'm going to put this question to
Nothing has made
Futurama
me
Reddit.
so happy than
Yeah.
to hear that you guys made an upset on Reddit.
We left a knife wound in Reddit.
No one agreed with me. I was
No.
like, this
What
is a
did you
really
say?
basically this is a poor use of Sarah Silverman because
And Michelle's kind of boring.
and Michelle's a really boring character, and I expect Sarah Silverman to be used to someone who's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Reddit was like, no, she's a great character.
Shut the hell up.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
No
I'm
one
gonna,
agree with
I'm
me.
going to
That's
take
so interesting.
slightly Reddit side. I actually like Michelle in how awful she is.
I don't
She's
even think
awful,
that she's
but it's
that
weird
awful,
to have
though.
Sarah
Awful-
Silverman play
Play
her.
that
Awful.
character,
Like
yeah.
I think that you're saying the insanity. I think the insanity comes through in a very mild way of just a like very toxic relationship.
Sure, but
I
she's
guess,
toxic in
but
a
it's-
very linear way.
It's not that I don't know. Like
For Fry, it's the most well the way that we see through Fry's perspective, it's
Yeah.
toxic. But we would in a everyday life take Michelle's side because Fry is a loser.
It's an incompatibility issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a good opportunity to maybe do like a forgetting Sarah Marshall thing where it's like, this is bad, this is your bad ex, and like, oh, she broke your heart and blah. And then like later in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, she's got the thing where it's like, well, you didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
I tried so hard, but you were just like too stupid to notice. And it's like, yeah, there is no really like good person in a breakup. It's
Really?
just
Yeah.
list of shitty things that both of you people did. Obviously, you have like shittier exes than some.
Really good
But-
comparison to Forgetting Sarah Marshall there. I was like, man, I would
I
have
love
liked it.
Forgetting Sarah
If
Marshall.
only that film had come out earlier, Futurama could have riffed on that, and we would have had that. That's a good film.
Yeah, well, a lot of things had come out earlier.
Side note, Chris, feel free to cut this out, but one of my best friends, which I had a falling out with, was named Sarah Marshall, and she moved away a week before that film came out.
So here's the interesting thing. So we've been obviously doing a gauntlet battle so far, and we have a winner
With the
per
episodes
season.
or just with our own fists?
Both. Why not both?
Yeah, that's why we had 7, and now we're down to 4.
Yep.
Yeah, we just keep eliminating the other podcast.
One a season.
We're coming for you, one good thing.
Oh, I could beat them both.
There's only room for one, Paul.
No offense, Pauls, but I'm very like I think I could beat definitely everyone at this table, and then both the Pauls.
Yeah,
Okay.
We have the wounds to protect.
Okay, Ellen. All right, Ellen.
When you said that, Sean, I'm really hoping that we just get the Phils in the room, crack a pool cue. It's like we're having
the Phils in a room.
The
How many
Phils?
Phils are there?
Oh,
Ah!
Phil, did I just let know
Pauls.
about the other Phils?
The two Pauls.
Hello.
Phils, yeah.
My name's Phil B.
I'm Phil.
How are you?
But no,
Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Michael,
Jiminy,
I'm on a giant bee. No, it's just with the polls, and it's just like we're having tryouts and crack a pool cue and drop it in between them. Just walk away.
Nice.
See what happens. But what was I saying? Yes, season winners.
Yes.
So
Yes.
season 1 winner, When Aliens Attack.
Mm-hmm.
Season 2 winner, Mother's Day.
Probably Poplars.
Season 3 winner, Roswell.
Roswell, yeah, fantastic.
And season 4 winner,
The Sting.
The Sting. My question to you is, those are the baby beard winners. What are your pick for favourite episode of Futurama thus far?
I think I was influential in making Mother's Day stick around that long, so that's probably mine. Although I think honourable mention, I think it's that season goes to Insane in the Mainframe.
Season
Nice.
3.
Season 3, so that's the one that got beaten.
Roswell,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so still, same thing. Honourable mention, that episode is excellent. So it's
Yeah.
probably it's my, like, close but no cigar episodes. That's
Yeah.
what I'd say.
I mean, it's going to take a lot of thought to get to the bottom of this. It's just there's so many problems with bubbles.
Okay, that's your answer.
Yeah, look-
I've been fighting this since day one. It's still there.
It was the one episode you said you wanted to come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
When Sean was like, "Oh, we're starting this pod," I think we were walking. I vividly remember this. We were walking to the Fringe Club, and you were like, "Oh, we started up this podcast," and I'm like, "Oh, this is awesome," and we're talking about it, and I'm like, "Sean, I don't care what happens. I don't care if I get onto it, but I just want to do Problem with Poplars. I just want to do that episode. Just can I please do that episode?" And Sean's like kind of laughing, and I was like, "No, seriously, I want to be on that episode." And then when Sean messaged me, he's like, "Do you want to be on Problem with Poplars?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess."
Yeah,
Oh, but,
whatever.
whatever.
Play it cool, play it cool.
Yeah, man, I'll go on.
For me, it's probably The Sting. It's definitely the episode I remember most. And just being like, look, Jurassic Park has deeply wounded me. And I've said, while it is, I think, just a masterful episode of Futurama, I just can't watch it that much. Like, I end up, like, weeping. And
It's not
just
a popcorn
really...
episode.
No.
No.
It's a drink heavily and cry episode. Whereas The Sting, it makes me upset, but like I really enjoy the twists and turns.
Has a resolution as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, it heals you at the end.
It does have a happy, but just, I really like all the risks they're taking with that episode. And for me, it's always been the one that's stuck in my head. Like when I think Futurama, like best episodes in my head, I'm like, The Sting, The Sting, The Sting,
One of
The
the
Sting.
best uses of insanity, and as well, like in a visual medium.
Yeah.
It just does a fantastic job of making it interesting.
Brilliant. And
engaging.
Dreams is just a rife place to play with.
2001 Space Odyssey references.
When you're animating. And then otherwise it's like I only remember episodes that have made me angry, like Benter and the Amazons.
Benter.
Amazon Women in the Mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other one that stands out for me is Less Than Hero. I just have
Lot
an
of fun.
absolute
You really
blast with
enjoyed that
episode.
one.
Like, it's so silly. I love it. And Citizen Snips. Oh my god.
I've never heard you say the word silly more than in that episode.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's great.
yeah.
Oh, it just was
It's
written.
fun, it's silly, it's great, it's
Silly.
silly. It's
The silliness.
I feel like it was written for me, that episode. It
Yeah.
so gets me every time. Love
Yeah.
it so much. And Beck. If I
Yeah.
can mention the Beck
Beck.
episode
Yeah.
as well.
I was going to say that with voice actors that nailed it. Beck.
I could write a song with real words, not phony ones like Odelay.
Odelay is a word. Just look it up in the dictionary.
But it's
Oh,
just-
yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
love Beck.
And he just sends up himself so beautifully.
I got a change. What is it? I got 2 washboards and a microphone.
Because it's like, when I wrote Devil's Haircutter, what was that song about? I was just like,
He asked for that line, which is great.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to send himself up more.
Which was great
Brilliant.
when you pointed that out to me, the fact that Beck was like, "No, make more fun of me." I was like, "Good on Beck."
I like
really-
the rhyming Dictionary.
Oh, yeah.
I really love the Iron Chef. That one
30%
parody.
Iron Chef.
Oh,
30%
yeah, yeah.
Iron Chef as well. Just because I really love Iron Chef.
Yeah.
It was
such a good-
it was a huge part of my like childhood and family watching, where we'd all like get together and put on SBS and watch Iron Chef and be like, "Oh, I hope it's going to be Chen Kenichi," or like, "Who are you going for, Mum?" And she's like, "I like the French one," and I'm
It
like,
still holds up.
Yeah,
Iron Chef
it's
as
fucking
well.
great.
So for
good.
me,
What about you, Sean?
well, for me, The Sting was always the episode I knew I was going to
Yeah, nice.
like most of all, because secretly the mission statement for this podcast was always, what is the best episode of Futurama and why is it not Jurassic Park?
Because it makes us upset.
Yeah.
But the episode that I didn't realize I was going to love as much as I did was Insane in the Mainframe.
Yeah.
I think that is as close to almost a perfect Futurama episode for me.
Yeah.
I was laughing every minute. You've got the introduction of Roberto.
Yeah.
Almost almost a bottle episode in terms of just how much time we spend in the insane asylum.
Yeah.
The dissolution of Fry's mental state.
Oh yeah, and how wonderfully
Napoleon
animated.
Bender.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think Fry's looked as. I think Fry has never looked so rough.
Yeah.
Like it's probably that.
And
Then
300 Big Boys.
Yeah, 300 Big Boys once he's had his 99th cup
Yeah,
of coffee.
oh, God.
And then maybe when he dies in the Sting, I
Yeah,
don't know.
he looked pretty rough with a stinger through his heart.
Yeah,
when he was
but
super worried
it was
about
his
Leela.
abdomen,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not his heart.
Yes.
Get it right, mate, you nerd.
I'm a geek.
Ellen, give
that's
Sean
so
back
much
his glasses.
worse.
Give him
I'll
his
wear
glasses
that.
back.
Get him. Stop putting him in a headlock.
Calling him a nerd when you're correcting him as well.
Shut up, nerd. Wrong nerd. Dumb nerd.
Yeah,
You're a nerd
you're not
bully.
even a good nerd. You're just a fucking dumb nerd.
Jumping
The
off what you
worst
said there,
insult.
Sean. Not so much an episode that I was surprised liking so much. Season 3 in its entirety. Because I used to always say season 2 is the best season, then 4, then 3, then 1. But coming back to it, I was like, no, 2 has some real duds in it.
Deep South.
And 3's got some real gems in it. And season 4 is actually now my favorite overall. I think
I think for
four
me,
knocked
4
it
has
out
been the
of the
most
park.
solid. Except, hang on, with the exception of the turd that is Bender.
Benter. Each
season.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, as we have the Gauntlet winners as well, we have a turd that's in all 4 seasons as well.
Ooh.
Which is
Deeps.
what's from season 1? It's the 5th episode.
We
the
hate
robot
Bugalo.
A big pile of garbage.
Fear of a Bot Planet.
Fear of a
We
Bot Planet.
hate Bugalo.
Yeah, of course we do.
It's
Fear of a Bot Planet.
Fear of a Bot Planet,
Deep
Deep
South,
South,
Where the
Bugalo
Bugalo
Roam, Benter.
Benter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amazon
shit.
Mood and in the Mood. Not.
It's so funny because
possible.
the episode before, we were all going, Snowstone!
Yeah.
Memorable, classic. Watched it, problematic.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. It does have like a shining light in it, which is
B. Arthur?
B. Arthur.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's great.
Oh,
She's a
always.
shining light in everything that she's
Oh
in.
god, yeah.
Do you know what it's like to be a fembot living in a femputer's world?
It's like man bot man pewters.
That's right.
Femputers world. It's like do you know what it's like being a fembot, being a femputer, and a man bot man pewter?
I was like
It's
giving
so weird.
giving that line to B. Arthur, be like, here's your character. She's
Yeah.
like,
Got it.
Watch,
Nailed it.
Watch me.
Watch magic work.
Yeah.
That was good.
It's not as offensive, I think, as Bend Her for
Or
me.
It's just
Yeah.
lazy.
It's
It feels
just very
really
lazy.
Yeah.
For me, Bend Her is lazier.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
But offensive in how lazy it is as well.
yes, so much
Yeah.
because it's like women jokes.
Yeah. Same
The-
with
the-
Bugalo. I
the-
would say the same feel. I get
Yeah.
that.
My transgender friend loves that episode.
Bend Her,
Yeah,
really?
loves it.
Really?
Thinks it's great.
What is her take on it? Like, does she see it as problematic at all, or does she just go
Not so
sees
much.
it as a celebration?
Sees
Okay.
it more of like a send up of Bender's attitude to being a woman.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Like it's more of like it's not like it's less about digging at the women in general and more about Bender being awful, whatever gender
Yeah.
they happen to be.
I get that.
Yeah.
It's just everything around it. And the
Sure.
fact that, I mean, not that Bender has ever faced consequences ever, but it's like, it's different to be like, this character is awful, and then at the same time, you're writing those jokes. I feel like that episode for me, it sounds less like, oh, this is all the terrible things we're making Bender say, because some of the other characters are supporting him, and especially the way they make Leela and Amy act in that episode is terrible.
That's my dislike.
Like, you would think that would be their time to shine in an episode that's addressing kind of gender and what it means to be feminine or female, and then they just have them say the most regressive, just lazy stereotypes,
In
and I'm like,
different
huh?
hands, that would have probably been done tastefully, but because it was punching down and the way
Yeah.
that it feels. But it's like when you were saying as well with your transgender friend, that was my devil's advocate view of it as well. Was like the idea, it's like, well, it's Bender. Bender's the bad guy, and we're seeing through like we're sending up the people who. But then at the same time, it's like I totally see both sides. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh god.
Whereas in
and
that
there's
episode,
no right or wrong,
No,
obviously,
in that episode,
but-
the wedding is to me so hilarious.
Oh, the soap opera
When
bit. in
the
that
soap
is-
opera,
yeah.
the soap opera aspect of that episode,
Yeah.
I really love because I love how they're planning all this in plain view of Calculon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it just progressively gets shitter and worse.
And I will also say, I think that's my favorite Leela's outfit.
I was about to say Leila's outfit.
the kind of really kind of cyborgy.
Yeah.
She's
with
wearing
the-
a blonde wig.
She's wearing a blonde bob wig.
Yeah.
Is she wearing a suit?
Kind of like she's got a skirt and it's like a
Purplish.
plum color, and she's got like kind of the one eye visor thing,
Yeah.
kind of like Star Trek-y.
It's like a little bit more casual than her opera outfit in Devil's Hands.
Yeah, but the colors clash in that, so I hate it.
Yes.
we have,
We've been over this.
I like that we have talked several times on the podcast about the various outfits that the characters end
Yeah.
up wearing. And
Yeah,
like,
for
they're
me,
often
that's-
really fun and enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'm really attracted to going out to dinner Fry.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
a nice blazer.
Yeah, the blazer.
I'm attracted to Less Than Hero Fry.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He's drawn very svelte in that episode.
Yeah.
Like,
and once he
I
gives
think
you
they're
his
taking
social
some
security
liberties.
number,
Yeah.
address.
It was me.
Oh man, yeah, but it's the fashion is important because like in a lot of cartoons, like even comparing it to the Simpsons,
Nice.
Nailed it.
Nice.
You're bleeding from the nose right now.
yeah, I'm seething on the inside because it's like I guess I have to say Simpsons now. No, in the Simpsons, that one was deliberate. Like nobody's clothes really ever change.
No.
It's like
No,
a handful of
Very,
times.
very rarely.
And Futurama has that a little bit as well. But then there'll be moments in episodes like going out to dinner Fry or like Formal
Yeah.
Leela or like anyone's clothes change and your eyes are immediately drawn to them and you're like, oh,
It's something new.
My favorite is when Bender gets clothes. Like,
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
doesn't need them, but he likes to fit in.
Yeah.
So, like,
You
when
know,
he's
my
going...
favorite was the. Sorry, you go first. 'cause
Oh,
you
just
were talking.
when they go to the woods and he's got, like, his little
Oh,
cap.
yeah.
He's got, like, a
Yeah.
cap on and...
I liked the Woods look as well.
Yeah. and the cravat he wears in the
Yeah.
Flexo episode, it's a little something called
Yeah.
style. Look it up sometime.
I like the Awesome Express outfit because he's pregnant
Mummy-
as well.
Mummy
so
Bender.
they just
Yeah.
they put him in it anyway.
Yeah,
It's just
I was
a
thinking
little-
that the whole way through as well. I'm like, Sean's going to say Mummy Bender. And I'm
Mummy
like,
Bender.
Flip side, I laugh and enjoy every time Farnsworth gets naked
Brisk.
for some reason, just because it's so vividly drawn as well.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, they really went to a lot of effort to make him look wrinkly and like a banana that's been left out in the sun
Well,
too
he's
long.
like
60.
yeah.
Because he's lying about his age.
Yeah.
Because when he was
He's
150, I think that he
That's
goes
a
to
rough
the
60.
near Death Star.
Yeah, his time machine experiment failed and he wasted another 10 years of his life is the explanation for that. So
Yes.
so he went backwards in
Oh.
time and then just wasted 10 more years.
But now he's even older because he went into the
Yes.
Fountain of Youth.
Yes.
And
So
then
like,
he
yeah.
yeah.
the tar pit thing.
Yeah.
And then
the
they-
Fountain of
How
Aging.
old
Fountain
is
of Aging.
Farnsworth
Fountain of
now?
Aging.
He's just an old dude.
Yeah. Science has gone too far.
So, do we have any final thoughts about the journey so far, guys? Of just 4 friends.
And several murdered people along the way,
let's,
Sean.
Let's
people.
not push it.
4 people.
I
4
think-
co-workers.
I think what's really amazing to me is like how not dated Futurama is. Like it's we look at sometimes we go, and this is the air date, and we're like, what?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that is a long time ago, but it holds up so well.
Yeah.
Like you could just put it on TV right now, and it stands as like alongside anything that's on TV right now.
Yeah.
And is still like really high quality. It hasn't really dated apart from a few references. There's a couple of like really glaring ones, like
Yeah.
Amazon being a risky bet.
Oh, yeah.
Or just Dick Clark.
Yeah. And sometimes they have a character you're like, who is that?
There are exceptions to the rule rather than the rule.
Yeah,
though.
that's right. In general, like it's still just as good to watch
Yeah.
it today.
We're almost about to come up. Next year is the 20th anniversary of Futurama
Oh my
being on the air.
God.
Wow.
99 is when
Crazy,
it first
yeah.
came on.
It's
Jeez.
insane.
I remember watching the first episode as well when it was aired. It's
Me too, yeah.
It's been just with it,
Futurama
though.
has been running for most of my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, it's been running for most of our
96?
lives.
95. I was born.
It's-
91?
Well, technically,
Let's
it's been,
share more personal
36.
information.
what is
36?
your
80
your how
Social
many,
security
no,
number?
No. I was going to say, how many numbers are there on a credit card? 16.
There's 16.
Yeah. Hey, Ellen, what's your 16 favorite numbers and in what order?
Too hard. I'll just give you my PayPal password.
It's Ellen
I'm a
rocks,
dumb-
all one word.
And I guess my thought as well is that coming from the fact that we were originally going to do a Simpsons podcast, and we have
You'd have to
recorded
wade
9
through all that
episodes
shit.
of that, I am so glad that we opted for Futurama instead. A, it's shorter. B,
It's so little work.
like comparatively to Simpsons, the quality control is much easier to manage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Simpsons, once you get to like season 12, you're just going to be like,
Well, it's all downhill
I
from
just
here.
we'd be like 4 seasons in and just be like, oh my god, there's so much more of this show to watch.
Yeah. Although
And it's still going.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
right.
the flip side of that though is like not saying that doing Simpsons was the right idea. But like,
Yeah.
you get to season 4 and you're like, oh, there's still like so many good episodes. And then you get to season 8 and you're like, oh no.
Oh no.
We're running out of the good episodes.
We just stop.
Yeah.
I also think maybe Futurama like is more accessible for us. Like there's Simpsons is not that it's totally inaccessible. It covers some pretty universal themes, but like it's about American suburbia.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not as accessible to me as sci-fi, which I find really, really relatable. It's something I've loved since I was a wee slip of a lad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for me, being able to delve into Futurama for me is much more kind of personal.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
a lot more connected
Yeah,
to
well,
it.
because Simpsons is the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like. There's definitely things I relate to. Like we would always, like my dad would always point out the kids, they like, they grow up and then they start talking kind of thing, or like,
Yeah.
or the like, he's plugging away to like just to, they're a working dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
And there's bits in there that I relate to, but I guess as it's been interesting rewatching it because now I'm at the part of my life where I am a no hope slacker like Fry. And the family is the people that I choose or that I'm
That's
kind of just
right.
dropped in the middle of.
Yeah, That's a good
And I'm
And you
like,
chose us.
oh, I didn't. I
Well,
was
we're
dropped.
co-workers.
Nah,
We're
I
co-workers.
unfroze.
But going with that as well, the strength, one of the strengths of Futurama was Simpsons' weakness as it went on. Was as Simpsons started to have technology brought into it, a lot of things fell apart. It was a reliance on technology. Whereas
Because it's like, when the fuck is this set?
yeah,
Yeah.
Whereas Futurama is like technology, like that old 80s and 50s style of sci-fi technology from beginning to end, and it's just such a wonderful joke, or it's a plot point, or it's amazing.
Floppy disks
and or even like
rotary phones.
the simplicity of the robot. There is a highly functioning robot here who's an asshole and who's just like a Brooklyn worker. Whereas like Simpsons,
and he's just like a cylinder with bendy legs and arms. Like he's really simple.
Completely hollow on the inside, and yet, any
multiple
function,
functions.
Yeah,
He's the Deus Ex Machina, quite literally.
Yeah, nice.
But you compare that to The Simpsons when like they introduced the internet, and it's suddenly like, oh.
Yeah, now they have episodes where they're using smartphones, and it's like, but you started in the 90s.
There's app-based episodes as well, and it's like, okay, cool. This isn't a drama about the nuclear family anymore. This is about technology or wigwams or whatever. It's like, I don't know.
Wigwams.
I love me some wigwams.
So, guys, in the spirit of our
called
perpetual
Walkmans.
guests, one good thing,
Yeah.
who will always and forever be on this podcast every now and then.
Yeah, they're mates.
Until Sean kills them.
Yep.
What?
It's coming soon. Let us quick fire very quickly. Don't hate us.
wasn't that
One
good.
good thing. Don't hate us. Quick fire your favorite character. Your favorite character.
Oh, how delightfully absurd! Oh, heavens! That's me. I'm done.
I like that we have to do the voice of our favorite character.
yeah.
Done.
Parole officer said I get my stabbing knife back.
I love you, Mommy.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Can't remember if that's greeting card one or I also
Sounds like
Tinny-
greeting card
Tinny
to
Tim.
me.
Yeah.
What about you, Sean?
Little Lemon is one of the finest cadets I've ever laid my eyes on. Fills me with many emotions that are strange and weirdly confusing.
That means he's canonically bisexual.
I mean, I mean, it's the future as well, so it's like Jack Harkness in Doctor Who. He's just like, he will bang anything.
He's pansexual.
I love that he's
Yeah.
kind of he's canonically bisexual, but just so unself-aware. He has no idea what it is that he's feeling at any given time.
But he just rolls with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's unaware of what emotions truly are.
It's like, I'm aggressively in love with Lee Lemon. I'm not going to question it.
Yeah,
Just
don't.
roll with it.
Just let it happen, baby. Let it happen, baby.
I think that's-
not our. Sorry. I just remembered like a character that I love.
Yeah, go.
Not our fat cop asses. The two cops. I
You are
love
Owen
them so
Smitty.
much.
Smitty and Earl.
Yeah.
I got one
Earl.
substitute one as well. Joey Mousepad. I forget what one of his lines. It's just like, hey boss, should he? What does he say? Something with the clamps. It's like.
Well, Bender needs a nickname as well. Hey, how will you call your clamps?
Yeah.
That's my name!
There's one bit with Donbot where Donbot says something and Joey Mousepad turns and says the stupidest thing and Donbot's just staring.
I don't know, boss. I don't think we should leave that kind of thing to chance.
Yeah, I don't think we should make it an accident. I think we should take care of him. Just silent stare.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, we could go on forever.
Elsa.
And we probably will.
We
bam.
probably will.
We've got
go on
more
forever.
episodes.
Bam. But yeah. So, guys, honest, I try to do this non-sincerely. I just have to do it sincerely. Thanks for joining us on the ride so far.
Yeah.
It's been
It's
awesome.
been fun.
It's been 2 years so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Not for all of us.
not for all of us.
More episodes, please.
I wouldn't do this in my room if I didn't love it.
Yeah.
It's in my room.
There's a joke.
There's
somewhere.
my bed over
You
there.
cannot escape it.
Yeah. Sean, when will you let us leave your room?
Whenever you want. No.
When Futurama's over.
Yeah.
Like, when we're done.
But it never stops.
And so, guys, until the next time we meet, which next week will be the beginning of the Futurama movies, starting with Bender's Big Score, done as the movies, not as the episodes. Fuck that.
I love how that's the full quote now as well. The movies, we're not doing them as episodes. Fuck that.
Fuck that. If you would like to stay in conversation with us, please do. You can do so at babybeardmedia@gmail.com.
We've got all the social medias as well. Join us on Facebook whenever we post an episode to like chime in about it. We really love interacting with you guys.
If you want to see the aesthetics, I've officially taken over the Insta handle. So check us out on Instagram because, guys, it's going to get weird.
And already getting more followers and comments and likes because I was shit.
And if you also thought that Sean was shit at Instagram, log into your iTunes, give us a 5-star rating, a little comment, and let us know. Let us know what you're thinking. We've also
Sean
got
was
the
shit. 5 stars.
Also because Chris said it, and it's burned into my mind now as well. It's like, we're on YouTube now as well. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.
Smash it!
Smash that like button!
Or, you know, if you don't want to be a fucking dude about it, just tap the button.
Gently caress it.
Sometimes make a letter in the alphabet.
Why?
And until that time that you
caress that button
and stroke yourself, I have been Sean.
I've been Phil.
I have been Joshua.
I'm Ellen. Now and forever, bitches.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.